I am Neil Trivedi, research student from Center for Visual Information Technology at IIIT Hyderabad. I will be presenting our paper NTU-X, an enhanced large-scale dataset for improving pose-based recognition of subtle human actions. Skeleton action recognition is a widely explored domain in the field of computer vision. There is a person performing an action. Using different skeleton extraction method, a 3D skeleton sequence of this action is acquired. Major skeleton extraction methods are explained in the next slides. Once the skeleton is extracted, deep networks are trained to classify the action being performed. Skeleton-based human action recognition gained a wide attention since the release of these two large-scale action datasets named NTU-RGBD and NTU-RGBD120. These are few of the key features of this dataset. NTU-RGBD dataset contains 56,880 sequences spanning over 60 different action categories. An extension of this dataset, NTU-RGBD120, contains 114,480 sequences spanning over 120 different action categories. The actions in these datasets are captured via three different cameras placed at -45, 0 and 45 degree. And the performer replicates the action 2 times, yielding 6 different combinations of the actions. The cameras which are used in this generation are Microsoft Kinect version 2, which captures both RGB frames and depth information. Using this captured data, 3D skeleton is generated. This plot shows the topology of the skeleton as provided by the NTU datasets. There are a total of 25 joints for each person in each frame. The name of each joints are as given in the slide. This slide shows some of the overlaid skeleton on few of the samples from the NTU dataset. We can see that the person is performing actions such as hand waving, kicking something and put on a hat, and the corresponding skeletons are overlaid on the RGB sequence. Even though widely used, the existing NTU datasets suffer from some major inherent issues. As shown, the skeleton provided in this dataset contain only 3 finger joints per hand. This causes a great issue when we are dealing with the actions involving subtle finger level movements. Here are few of the skeleton sequences from this dataset. Can we identify these actions? We cannot. Even after looking at the action label, we cannot tell these actions apart from each other. It is impossible to distinguish these actions without fine finger level joints. The performance analysis of different state-of-the-art methods on this dataset also reveal the similar issue with the existing datasets. This table shows the worst performing classes of different state-of-the-art approaches on NTU60 dataset. We can see that the most of the worst performing classes involve finger level movement such as type on keyboard, eat meal, etc. A similar trend can be observed when we analyze the worst performing classes of state-of-the-art methods on NTU120 dataset. Here also, most of the worst performing classes involve finger level movements such as make OK sign, staple book, etc. So what can be the solution to this problem? Add finger level joints into the dataset. Hence, we are introducing NTU-X, an enhanced large-scale dataset for improving pose-based recognition of subtle human actions. Our proposed NTU-X dataset has a dense skeleton representation which contains a total of 118 joints. Apart from 25 body joints, our dataset provides 51 facial joints and 21 finger joints per hand. And all of these features are provided for all the samples of the original NTU60 and NTU120 datasets. Here is an overview of the NTU-X dataset creation pipeline. The pipeline is divided into 2 stages. In stage 1, we extract 2D skeleton and in stage 2 we extract 3D skeleton. Both of these stages are explained in the next slides. In stage 1 of our pipeline, we use RGB sequence provided in the original NTU60 and NTU120 dataset. Using 2D skeleton extractor, we acquired 2D skeleton sequences of these RGB videos. For our dataset creation, we have used CMU OpenPose as 2D skeleton extractor. In the stage 2 of our pipeline, we use the RGB frame sequence along with the 2D skeleton sequence we acquired in stage 1 and pass them through 3D skeleton extractor to acquire the final 3D skeleton sequence. For our dataset creation, we have used SMPLX and Expose as 3D skeleton extractors. As mentioned in the previous slide, we use either SMPLX or Expose as our 3D skeleton extractor. There are few key aspects in which these two methods differ. First is the extraction time. SMPLX takes almost 10 minutes to process a single video, whereas Expose only takes 30 seconds, making Expose very efficient. However, for many side view samples and multi-person classes, 3D skeleton derived from Expose are a lot noisy, especially for the finger joints, as shown in these samples. Hence, for such classes, we use SMPLX to extract 3D skeleton. Please note that both SMPLX and Expose provide skeleton in exactly the same topology, making our dataset coherent. Here we present some qualitative results to present the superiority of our NTU-X dataset over the original NTU dataset. As was shown earlier, it was impossible to distinguish between these actions from the original dataset. But now with our newly proposed NTU-X dataset, we can identify these actions even without looking at the class label. The skeleton sequences in the bottom are from our NTU-X dataset, and we can see that they are much more stable and comprehensible as compared to the ones from the original dataset. We benchmark our NTU60-X and NTU120-X dataset on the state-of-the-art methods of the original NTU60 and NTU120 dataset. This table shows the performance of state-of-the-art methods on NTU60 and NTU120 dataset. This table shows the performance of state-of-the-art methods on our NTU60-X and NTU120-X dataset. As can be seen from the green columns, state-of-the-art methods perform significantly better on our NTU-X dataset as compared to the original NTU dataset. We can see that DSTA-Net achieves highest accuracy for both 60 and 120 class datasets. Analysis of worst performing classes of NTU60 dataset for DSTA-Net also reveals the advantages of our NTU60-X dataset. This bar plot shows the per class accuracy of worst performing classes of original NTU60 dataset. As we have observed before, most of these classes involve finger level movements. Now when we analyze the accuracy of these classes for our NTU60-X dataset, we can see the significant improvements. This shows the importance of finger level joints and the importance of datasets like NTU-X. Similar trend can be observed for the NTU120 dataset. This bar plot shows per class accuracy for worst performing classes of DSTA-Net on original NTU120 dataset. Again, most of these classes involve finger level movements. And when we go to NTU120-X dataset, we can see the significant improvements in the accuracy of these classes. To summarize our contributions, we point out some major drawbacks in the existing skeleton action datasets, which are lack of fine finger level joints. This bottlenecks recognition approaches for classes which involve significant finger level movements such as thumbs up or make OK sign. To overcome these drawbacks, we introduce NTU-X dataset containing 118 joints skeleton to capture fine-grained joint movements. We show experimental evidence to support the claim that our dataset helps model better classify actions involving finger level movements. Further details about our NTU-X dataset along with pre-trained models can be found at our GitHub repository or our project page on the links given below. Thank you for watching.